Hey YouTube, it's Marita and welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. In this edition, we're actually going to talk about something that keeps coming up on my TikTok. And people ask me, do I feel like they'll ask me, do I feel like you should be a CNA first, or do I think CNAs make better nurses and so forth. So the name of this video, I'm rambling. The name of this video is, should I be a CNA first before becoming a nurse? My thoughts, okay, my opinions. And if you want to see that, then of course stay tuned. Welcome back. My name is Dr. Marita P. I'm a registered nurse, been a nurse for almost 18 years. OBGYN and Well Baby Nursery is my specialty. And today we're actually going to talk about, talk about whether the CNA thing. Is it something that you should do? Should everybody be a CNA first before they become a nurse? So these are my opinions and my opinions only. In my personal opinion, being a CNA first does not mean you're going to be a great nurse. You could be a bad CNA. If you're a bad CNA, you're going to be a bad nurse. Now, I do understand what people mean or think that that it's going to give you a privy, so to speak, to becoming a great nurse if you're a CNA first. But that's also to say, if you're saying that, that's also saying that if you don't be a CNA first, that you may not be as great of a nurse. And what people are really trying to say is, there's a direct correlation, a positive correlation, that if you become a CNA first, you're going to be a great nurse. And that is not true. There is not a direct correlation in that. Because, like I just said, you can have to be honest with you, a CNA, those who are CNA first, they are great with time management. They are great with teamwork. And they are great with, prioritization and organizational skills, things like that. That's the advantage that they have. Plus, of course, they're acclimated to the healthcare setting. That is the advantage that they have. But when it comes to directly being a great nurse, not necessarily. Because those skills right there can be easily learned by someone who's never been a CNA before. Now, I will say that being a CNA has its advantages. But the CNA scope of practice and being a nurse scope of practice, again, it's two different things. The scopes are totally different. So one does not lend itself to the other. But the notion that you can be a good nurse because you are a CNA first, can be is the operative word. Yes, that part is true. But will it make you be? No, that is not true. Also, the same thing is true as those who have never been a CNA before and then go into nursing, that they are not going to be as good as a nurse. That's what the opposite is basically saying. And that's not true as well. You have great nurses on either side, and you have very poor nurses on either side. I know a lot of very bad nurses who are CNAs first. So in their case, it did not help. Therefore, it's not a direct correlation is what I'm saying. So do I recommend you do it? If that is something that you are interested in, yes, go for it. If you want to be a CNA first, or if you want to kind of get a feel for if nursing is for you or healthcare is for you, go knock yourself out. Nothing wrong with it. But at the same token, do I think it's a requirement? Actually, I take that back. In some states, it is a requirement to be a CNA before you can go to nursing school. Some states is a requirement. I don't live in one. But for some states, it is a requirement. So I will say that it is a requirement some places for you to be a CNA first before going to nursing school. And if that's what's required, then of course that's what's required. But that's not what the video is about. The video is specifically speaking about those who it is not a requirement, but do they make better nurses because they were CNAs first? And my short answer again was no, they do not. But it does lend itself to better skills in the initial time period. After that, a nurse can easily learn those skills. And once they have them mastered, they're good to go. So again, this is just an opinion, another unpopular opinion. I should have added this too. Well, that was for nursing school, but that's an unpopular opinion that many people don't believe. People believe that if you're a CNA first, you're going to be a better nurse, or it's going to lend itself to being a better nurse. And that's not necessarily true. And I have seen that time and time again on the floor, where people, in terms of being a CNA, and they were not a good one, and that just made them an even worse nurse. So don't buy into, if you were, then yes, you will be. That is the wrong approach to have. If you were, yes, you can be. But it's really contingent of who you were as a CNA to begin with. That's kind of what I mean by that. It's contingent upon who you were to begin with. If you were never a good CNA, you didn't do good teamwork, you halfway took care of your patients, what makes you think that's going to change as a nurse? It's not. You're going to still be the same sorry nurse that you was a CNA. So those who have good work ethic will be fine regardless of if you started with it or if you didn't. Those who care, they will be fine regardless if they're with it, if they did it, or if they didn't do it. So let's think about those kinds of things, before we say, well, everybody should be a CNA first. I think it's just going to help you do the. Not necessarily. It depends on who you are and what you're about and what you're there for. Again, I've seen good and bad either way it go. So anyway, short, sweet, to the point. Welcome to Nurses Week. This is Nurses Week's videos. As you all know, I come and do videos every single year on Nurses Week. I do a video every single day. And we are going to have a great week of Nurses Week's videos. Again, I'm tackling the good, the bad, and the ugly. So a lot of this content is some things that can be kind of controversial, and I'm okay with that. Because I think that I'm willing to talk about the things that people aren't willing to talk about because they're afraid of the backlash. And as you know, I'm not afraid. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video in its entirety. Please go watch the other Nurses Week's videos for 2022 Nurses Week. And as usual, follow me on my other social media platforms. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.